Today we're looking at one of my favourite parts of Christmas dinner, the humble roast potato, and we're also going to do some roast veg. Hi everyone, this is James from Barbechoo.com and welcome back to another episode in this little series on how to cook your Christmas dinner on the barbecue. A huge thank you to Hillstown Farm Shop for sponsoring this series. If you want to find out more about them and the meat they produce, I've left a link in the description for their website and all their social media. Did I also mention they have a brewery on site, so beer and meat, heaven on earth. So first off today we're going to look at one of the stars of the Christmas dinner plate. Most people talk about the ham or the turkey, but for me the roast potato is one of the key ingredients on that plate that just makes the Christmas dinner. Now there are a few things that make a roast potato great. They have to be super crispy on the outside and nice and soft in the centre. So today we're going to run you through step by step how I like to do mine on the barbecue. Now while the roasties are on, we're going to prepare some carrot and parsnip and we're going to roast that with a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Okay, as far as barbecue setup goes, we're using the same indirect method that we use to roast our turkey. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll leave a link for it up here. But it's basically a split 50-50. So you have coals on either side of the charcoal grate and then nothing in the centre, and that gives you an area of indirect heat. So we're going to be roasting the potatoes today using goose fat, and we're actually using the Lodge cast iron skillet. This is the 10 1/4 inch skillet. I'll leave links below if you want to pick one of these up. So we need to get that on to preheat while we prepare our potatoes. So I have roughly about 3 tablespoons of goose fat here, so just place that into the skillet. You don't need an awful lot, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Too much and you'll end up with greasy potatoes, and that's not good. So place that in the centre of the barbecue in that area of indirect heat and let the goose fat come up to temperature. You want your goose fat to be really warm before you put your potatoes in. They should start to sizzle and crisp up instantly. If the goose fat's not hot enough, it'll just absorb into the potatoes and that's how you end up with greasy potatoes. Okay, while that's heating up, let's take a look at the potatoes and how you prepare them. So let's talk about the spud. The one I like to use is the Morris Piper. I just find it makes the best roasties out of any I've tried. So the secret to a great roast potato is to parboil them first. So the way I like to do it, I'll peel the spuds, cut them up into chunks, try and keep them all a similar size, that way they'll all cook evenly. Into a pot of cold water and put that over a high heat. Once that comes up to a rolling boil, give it another 3 to 4 minutes and then take them off. That will give a lovely fluffy texture on the outside, but the inside will still be hard, it won't cook them the whole way through. That fluffy, roughed up texture on the outside is what's going to give you the best crunch. So once you drain them out of the water, put them back into the saucepan, give them a good shake about, and that'll fluff up the outsides. So as soon as your goose fat's up to temperature, you can test it just by dropping a little bit of potato into the fat. If it starts to sizzle immediately, you know it's ready. Get rid of that. Then we can go in with our potatoes. Just be careful with them. This is really hot, you don't want to be getting your fingers into it. That hot goose fat will instantly seal the bottom of them and stop them absorbing up the fat. If you put on a pair of gloves, what you can actually do is tilt the pan so that the fat all pulls to one side, and then using a spoon, spoon a little bit of the goose fat over the top of each one. Just space them out again and then get the lid back onto the barbecue immediately. So while the potatoes are doing their thing in the barbecue, we're going to prepare some roast carrot and parsnip. So similar to the potatoes, I have roughly peeled some carrot and parsnip, cut them into long strips. So these are really just the carrots quartered and the parsnips quartered, and I've parboiled these, similar method to the potatoes, into ice cold water over a high heat. Bring them up to a rolling boil. After 2 or 3 minutes, then lift them off and drain. So they are flexible, they're soft on the outside but they're still not cooked the whole way through. We're going to roast these in a similar fashion to the potatoes. So I've added another skillet to the barbecue with a little bit of olive oil in it to preheat. These are only going to take around 20 to 30 minutes, whereas the potatoes are going to take an hour. So while the potatoes will start off, you can get these ready. So they're really easy to prepare. Just add them into a bowl. And there's only 3 ingredients we're going to put in at this point. First off is a drizzle of olive oil, around the same amount of balsamic vinegar. I'm making a mess. And finally with some fresh thyme leaves. And just give that all a mix about. Make sure everything's coated in that balsamic vinegar and the thyme will all stick to it nicely. So whenever these veg roast, they're going to go nice, sticky and sweet. So it's something different than your normal boiled carrot and parsnip mash, which to me has no flavour. This roast veg just adds another element to your Christmas dinner. So once that's all mixed, one last thing then, give it a season with the smoky braise, smoked sea salt and pepper. Add a sprinkling in there, same with the sea salt. So that's now ready. Once the potatoes get to the halfway mark, around 30 minutes or so, we can get our roast carrot and parsnip on as well, and then they should both be ready around the same time. At that point we're also going to add a couple of things to the potatoes just to take them to the next level. Right, our roasties have been in for just over 30 minutes now, so it's time to give them a turn. You see the lovely crust they've got in the bottom from the goose fat and the cast iron. It holds the heat really well, so you want to flip them over. At this point we're actually going to turn the pan too, just to help with even cooking. Okay, at this stage we've still probably got another 20 minutes or so to go. They're getting there, but they just need a little bit more colour all over. But we are going to add in a few cloves of garlic. I haven't peeled these are just smashed. They're just in there to add a flavour. And then in with a couple of sprigs of rosemary. That's just going to add a little bit of flavour to that crust. So now these are 20 minutes left to go. We're going to get our veg on in the other skillet. Right, so the olive oil is up to temperature in this skillet. This is our veg we prepared earlier. Just add that straight in. Again, it should be nice and hot. And just flatten everything out. And get the lid back onto the barbecue, and we'll leave these for another 20 minutes or so, and we'll come back and check them. So there you have it. Once the veg has had about 20-30 minutes and they've crisped up on the outside, and your potatoes have gone nice and crispy on the outside as well, you know they're ready to come off. Let them cool for a little while first. It is a well-known fact that the inside of a freshly roasted potato is hotter than the surface of the sun. So once they've cooled, you should have nice crispy potatoes, nice little crunch on the outside, and they're nice and soft in the centre. Probably can't hear that. And the veg as well. What I like, the little tail ends of them go nice and crunchy, but they're still nice and soft up at the fatter end, so it's a nice balance of textures too. And the balsamic vinegar in the veg adds another flavour that you don't usually get in a Christmas dinner, but it goes so well with carrot and parsnip. So we'll leave links below for both these recipes. Remember to check out Hillstown's website as well, the link's in the description. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.